Hey guys, we're going to do a quick run through of how to do the tape outline exercise to determine the right size cockpit for your dog. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the tape outline exercise. You need masking tape, you need a space on the floor up against two walls where there's no furniture, and then you need a measuring tape and your dog. And you're simply going to do a tape outline of the internal dimensions of the cockpit, and you're going to put your dog in it in the comfortable laying down position. Here we have the internal dimensions of the four sizes of the cockpit. The Nano for dogs under 20 pounds. The Mini is generally for dogs 20 to 45 pounds. The Standard from 45 to 85 pounds. And the Large upwards of 85 pounds. Now these weight ranges are just a guideline. If you have a dog that's narrow and slender and long, they may need a larger cockpit than their weight suggests. And a dog that's beefier and more compact, like a bulldog, may need a cockpit that's smaller, even though their weight is heavier. So you're gonna, if your dog is clearly in that weight range, then just start with the tape outline for that size. If you've got a 35-pound dog, you're probably gonna start squarely in a Mini. If you've got, say, a 60-pound dog, you're gonna start with a Standard. But anything that's on the cusp, go ahead and do both tape outlines at once, one inside the other, just like you see here up against the corner of two walls. So again, if your dog is maybe 80 pounds, you're going to do the standard size cockpit measurement or outline here, and then the large as well. Keep in mind, this is just the starting point for the large. We custom size the large, so we'll go larger from here, but this is generally where we start. Once you've created the tape outline, now we're going to put our dog in the comfortable laying down position. So what are we looking for? First of all, the butt should be pressed against the wall. Number two, the back should be pressed against the wall. We don't want your dog floating out there. So when we see your photos of the tape outline exercise, we want to know the butt is against the wall, the back is against the wall. Also, notice that the dog is not in a straight position here, right? The dog is in a semi-curled position. The hind legs are kicked out to one side. They're not on either side, both on one side. And then the front paws are also out to the non-wall side. This is how your dog's going to ride in their cockpit, okay? So what are we looking for? Well, here we are, number 3. Hind leg stays inside the tape outline with only gentle pressure. So it's not uncommon that your dog will kick their leg out when they're just relaxed. So you should be able to keep that hind leg in with just a little bit of pressure. If there's a lot of space here, 1 inch, 2 inches or more, then probably your dog is a little small for that size cockpit, right? And if their leg really can't be kept inside of the tape outline, and I'm talking about the inside, right, then we're looking at a cockpit that may be too small for them. And when I'm doing this tape outline exercise, I've got the inside of the tape at the dimensions that we looked at before, okay? It's important to clarify that because the tape can be 1.5 inches, and that can make things look very different. So we talked about the width, now the length. We're looking at the non-wall side paw, okay? And what we want to see in the ideal situation is that the tape outline cuts really right at the wrist, okay? That's what we're looking for. If the paw is sort of entirely inside of the tape outline, then we probably have a cockpit that's going to be too big, too long. And if the tape outline doesn't reach the wrist and is really up here at the upper leg, then the cockpit is probably going to be too short. So this is what you're looking for. Keep in mind, the wall side paw is more than likely going to extend beyond the tape. That's not a problem. When you're in that riding position, your dog is kind of tucked in. They're going to be looking on one side, just like what you see here, and they're going to kind of adopt this curled back, very relaxed position. This is the riding position. This is how we want to see them in the tape outline exercise. Now, if you're not sure, take a couple of photos, send them over to us. Take the photo from exactly this angle. This is the best angle to look at. It's great if it's the top, it's great if it's the front or the side, but this is really the best angle to look at. Send it over to us at info@goruffly.com. We're happy to give you our feedback. If you want to go ahead and check out on your cockpit without having done this, that's fine too. We ask you to do this as part of the design phase of your cockpit, so we'll have you do it anyways just to double check that your dog's going to fit nicely in that cockpit. If you do this beforehand, hold on to those photos so you can upload them when that time comes in the design phase, and we're good to go. Any questions? info@goruffly.com.